When OP sees her husband exchanging messages with another woman, she feels the need to investigate. But what she discovers about the man she thought she was going to marry is shocking. To find out how this story ends, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it.
My boyfriend and I met in Dallas during COVID, and we recently took a trip to Chicago. On a Friday night, while we were riding back from a sporting event in an Uber, I saw a text come up on his phone. It happened fast, but I could tell it was someone's flesh, and he quickly got out of the message, then swiped left to delete the whole thread. I was like, "What was that?" And he replied with, "Nothing." He then gets on his phone again, and I see his passcode, so I jot it down in my notes. When we got back to the hotel, I see him on Uber Eats, so I was like, "I'm hungry too. What are you getting?" But he tells me to order my own food on my account, so I was like, "Okay." It was very weird, and he seemed annoyed with me. I pull up my own app and peek over at his to see what he might be getting, so I don't order the same type of food, and I see him looking at another woman. He paused on her body and even zoomed in, all while I was right next to him.
He must have really liked her a lot.
I say something, and he totally gets defensive and says, "I'm not dealing with this," and leaves the hotel room at about 9:30 p.m., and doesn't get back until after 4 a.m. When I woke up, he was still sleeping off whatever he did the night before, so I got his phone off the nightstand, go in the bathroom with it, and lock the door. I go to my notes, and miraculously, I got the password right, and his phone unlocked. I start going through his phone, and he had dozens of other women. At 1 a.m. while I was waiting for him to come back, he sent a text to someone saved as Chicago $300.
And I think we all know what that means.
The woman he added in Chicago admitted that my boyfriend was all over her and her friends, and they made out. There was a woman he overnighted with in New Mexico 2 weeks before, multiple women in Colorado the week before that, multiple women from our home state in Texas, and women he met in Chicago when I was working from home while we were on a trip together. He was sending them money, they were exchanging nudes, and he's been inviting them on trips, telling one to come visit the day after I was set to leave.
He's out messing around.
Mind you, he's been telling me that he loves me and wants a family with me for years. We never use condoms, and apparently he's been cheating on me with multiple women for over a year. I reached out to many of these women to warn them, and they had no idea I existed, and confirmed that he never mentioned having a long-term girlfriend, and never used condoms with them. He touted himself as being a godly man with morals. In 2021, he had me abort our child because he didn't want to be a father, and he didn't want me to be a single mother. But what's so disgusting about that is that he's been sending single moms money and flowers, acting like he's in a relationship with them. I had no idea that he was living a double, triple, quadruple life, and he had nothing to say when I confronted him. He had no remorse and literally told me, "I have no empathy for you." I freaked out and flew back to Dallas on Saturday with my heart shattered. On the same day I left, he was already lining up my replacement, which I learned about from one of the girls. While I was crying on my flight back to Texas, he was recruiting my replacement the same day. I reached out to multiple women that he'd been exchanging messages with, and they were disgusted and had no idea. One of them told me that she met him at a hotel party a year ago, and he tried to have a threesome with her and some coked-out bimbo, and some other girls started blowing him right in front of her. We were definitely together last year, so I just feel sick. I feel lied to because this man told me that he wanted to marry me, that he loved me, that he'd do anything to protect me, and the whole time he's been a stranger. A couple of weeks ago, we were supposed to go see the balloon festival in New Mexico, but he started a fight with me for no reason, then uninvited me. After comparing the timelines, I came to find out that he got into a fight with me so he could spend the weekend with another woman, and he somehow put all the blame on me so he could pull this off. He didn't talk to me that whole weekend to punish me, but really, he just wanted to have the time and space to cheat in peace. The woman confirmed to me that they had unprotected sex in New Mexico, and the following week he came back to Dallas and had me meet his family.
Brazen man.
I feel so betrayed and feel like the last 3 years were a lie. He's not apologized for anything and doesn't care that he had me abort our baby in 2021. He doesn't care about how much that affected me or how traumatized I've been, and he doesn't care about the future he promised we were building together. None of it makes any sense to me, and he's yet to say sorry. He has no remorse. I thought I was going to marry this man. I thought he was going to be my family. I thought we had a future. My whole world's been turned upside down, and he doesn't seem to care at all because he has dozens of other women that he's been stepping out on throughout our entire relationship. I don't know how I'm ever going to trust again. I don't know how I'm ever going to love again after I've been stabbed in the back to this degree. My question to you all is, how do I heal? How can I move forward? How can I keep this from affecting how I view love and men in the future? I feel broken. Any tips would be greatly appreciated. I'm honestly in hell right now, and it's hard for me to sleep. I dream about the betrayal, and I'm not sure how I'm ever going to be the same again. My whole life went from thinking I was going to soon be married and having babies, to not knowing what the future holds, or if I'll ever be able to trust or love again. What do I do now? I feel broken. I've been gaslit, lied to, and cheated on for at least a year. I'm getting tested this week, but how do I stop ruminating on the betrayal? And how do I begin to get over this? I'm in a lot of pain and I don't know what to do.
While this was super painful for OP, she dodged a bullet with this one. It would have been much worse if she figured all this out after they were married and had children together. While this won't be an easy journey for OP, eventually she'll be able to get over it and hopefully find someone she can build a life with. Let's see what our team of lovely Redditors have to say in the comments.
7 Fish Slaps says, he sounds like a sociopath. Obviously, I'm not a professional and don't know that for sure, but you were lucky to get out when you did. I'm so sorry about your traumatic experience. And while it's good that you didn't have a kid with him, it doesn't take away the fact that it's a traumatic thing to go through. I see that you're starting therapy, and I think that's a good move. When you start to get over the shock and initial heartbreak, you'll start to see all the red flags he was waving throughout your relationship. Just take it as a learning experience. Not all guys are like that, but now you know what to look out for. Wise Doormat says, first off, I hope you're now calling him your ex and that you're planning on going no contact with him. He absolutely broke your trust, betrayed you, gaslit you, invalidated the impact his decisions had on you, and he's absolutely not worth your trust or time. He doesn't respect you, doesn't care about you, and sees you only as a convenience, as seen by him not having any remorse and not wanting to deal with you. How do you heal from such a betrayal and change your life plan which you integrated him with? Well, this is hard, so I'm not going to downplay it, but as corny and generic as it is, you just have to do it one step at a time. I hope you have a good friend group that you can rely on because you're going to need a lot of support. You may want to focus on being single, and maybe try something casual once you're ready. Something where trust doesn't matter, and give it time. With all that being said, though, I highly encourage you to get some therapy. I expect that a betrayal of this level caused trauma, and you're likely not an emotionless robot, so you'll want to be equipped with knowledge and tools to develop healthy coping habits.
While it's unclear regarding how OP decided to deal with this situation, I do hope that she finds what she's looking for in the future. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.